Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS North American Challengers League. Game number 1 now just concluded between Immortals and 100 Thieves. What a display coming out of Immortals. After they lost 2-0 to Wildcard, they bring it right back and take a win against 100 Thieves Challenger.
Yeah, obviously they look so much better than they did yesterday, and I mean, there must be something to said about when you don't really have to go up against what we call the test. But jokes aside, I think their game 1 was really good. 100 Thieves definitely gave them some opportunities in draft that I'm sure we'll get more into after. But I think overall, they played the map really well. Blaze Olive especially was all over the place and was a big part of how they're able to continuously snowball that game.
Now, Myra, I know you got something to say about tier list and a certain jungler. Do you want to bring that up?
Yeah, so this game was really good across the board by the team. But I want to shout out one specific jungler, Mr. Chad. There's sort of this idea in some other games that there's certain players under certain circumstances play out of their minds. I think we finally cracked the code with Chad. If we rank him low in tier lists, he absolutely smurfs it immediately after. So, I'm presenting something. This is to help you, Chad. When you see this clip, I'm sorry. We're putting you here, buddy, because this will make you absolutely smurf game 2. This is for your own good. Every time someone puts you low in a tier list, there's a chip on your shoulder, you come out and you just absolutely slam them with ice. So, hey, I want to see a 2-0. It's for your own good, buddy.
Pete, you got the same regard?
I mean, she's probably right, and do I need to... I mean, if I want to help Chad, hold on, I don't even have... I wasn't ready for this, oh my god.
Don't worry, I'm ready. I'm writing down mine.
Okay.
I'm writing down my entire tier list, but it's only going to contain spot number 15, apparently.
Can't be too mean. We need to channel his power, not make him send me a twit longer. It's okay.
Yeah, true. You know what? So then I will just abstain to, be the balance.
Appreciate you, Chad, by the way.
There we go. Chad number 13. Why is my lights always blocking me? There we go. Chad number 13. I have you ranked there.
But yeah, he played really well this game. His presence on Vi was super good. He was all across the map. I mean, you had a sniper doing a bit of a clinic on Gwen in top lane, but it didn't matter. You had them running mid jungle duo really, really well. They're absolutely smashing everyone. Like, yeah, Wixie on Draven was looking hot, but like when your mid jungle have 12 kills, no deaths combined, I think things are going pretty good. So it was really nice to see that turnaround after the wildcard games. There's no tests that they have to pass, thankfully. And the power of tier lists putting Chad into a Smurf game there.
Legit.
What you think of Wixie being on the Draven? Because I saw the production chat and you just outright said on that lock in, Wixie my goat.
I love players who don't care what the name tag is against them. Like, it is very easy to see an LEC All-Pro in your game against you. First pick Lucian. It's kind of disrespect. And, I want to play a safe lane, we'll neutralize it. Nah, screw that, I'm walking Draven. Welcome to NA, buddy, I'm running you down. I respect that so much, so it was really sick to see. He has the win rate to back it up, it keeps going up, so maybe that's a new test for other teams.
Oh, true.
I want to see more Draven play and see just how much he can get away with being that aggro on that champion. I mean, even the way he got his first kill, his only kill of the game, mind you, it was the only cash-in that he got. It was almost halfway across the map with Chad doing a gank onto Yukino.
Yeah, the use of the Whirling Death was really nice there, and I mean, it just goes to Myra's point. Like, it was set up by the mid-jungle duo again. Like, they were all over the map. They were a Chad and a Blaze Olive, and I kind of felt bad for Pretty, and it's what I feel always happens when I see mids play Victor and fives, especially against comps that have a lot of CC. Like, yeah, you do a lot of damage. You scale excellently. But once they get on top of you... Sorry.
All right, we got another tweet coming in, so let's take a look at that. I'm not trying to make this into a 100 Thieves Challenger is purely a sniper showcase, but it's hard not to when the man is 11-7-12 with a 1-2 record so far, consistently getting ahead in lane and providing a win con for otherwise lost situations. How do you feel about that, Myra? Sniper, he feels like it's living up to the hype, but still not picking wins.
Yeah, I mean, it is a team game. You can go 4-0 in lane, but if you're not holding it up everywhere else, it's a little hard. I don't think it's as doomer as like, oh god, how do we only have sniper? Like the team stack in favor. Like people, the lowest I've seen anyone put them in a tier list is like third. Like they are objectively like very good, but I think they still have a little bit of figuring out to do. Obviously Destiny and Unforgiven like just coming in and all that, just moving over to NA, so it's a little hard, but I think it's very good that one of your youngest like golden egg players is popping off, because if you can just get the other guys to go into the form they can, then you're going to do great. And you don't have to worry about other people like catching up, when usually you have to worry about your younger upcoming player maybe having to move up to the level of the others. He's already there, so it's just waiting for the other teammates to come up.
I remember last year for LCS Academy, we had a sit down with a lot of these players and just asked them questions throughout. We talked to the top laners, and for Proving Grounds, the top laners basically ignored every single amateur player. They were like, we don't really care about them, we're only focusing on Academy, except one. And the one name that kept coming up was Sniper. I mean, do you think he's that big, Myra? Is this really that much of someone we should have our eyes on?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like he's incredibly good. I mean, he's proved it already. Like even in a game where your team is kind of getting the runaround, you individually are performing really well in your own matchup, and even like he's doing his best in some of those fights, trying to make plays work. It's a little hard when you're getting the bounce house from Silas Vi there, but he's doing his best there. And again, like usually in a team setting, you have these talented like rookies coming up. You usually have to like help bring them up, but he's already there. So like they're skipping a step. He's really good. So I think I don't think 100 Thieves should be worried that they've lost 2 games. I legitimately don't think it matters in the long term. Like we're still in week 1. Your golden egg's doing great. I think the rest of the players just got to sort of figure out the cohesion. And game 2, maybe we don't first pick Lucian and lose the Nami, and things might go a bit better too.
Yeah, if you didn't say it, I was going to. That was definitely
interesting.
Yeah, and I said it while we were like off air, but it's like maybe watching a little too much LCK LPL, where it's like, oh, this unspoken rule where you get one half of a mashup. It's like, I understand. I will pick the other matchup. See you in lane. And then here they're like, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, normally, like, the Nami by itself isn't that good unless you happen to have a really good Draven player, which might have been an oversight. Should check the win rates next time, but I see, like, what they're going for. Like, again, most teams will just go, okay, whatever, like, Zeri X, Varus X, like, Sivir, whatever, right? So, I understand, but they got called out, so...
So, would you say it's just a draft issue? If we fix that, 100 Thieves Challengers are going to look better in this game, too?
No, I'm just saying don't first pick Lucian.
I think that's very reasonable. I think there's a lot of other things they could have gone for, and I mean, we'll see. Game 2, we've seen a lot of examples of it, like yesterday too, where team gets smoked. Let's be real, that's what happened here, and they just come back like insanely and manage to win it out in the second game. So I'm sure 100 Thieves will be able to look like, okay, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have done this. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. And then I'm sure we'll see them adapt going into this second.
I mean, I did mention earlier, you still got experienced players on this roster. Just looking at Pretty alone, who...
True.
I talked about it during the game, but on Immortals, when they were struggling, Pretty had these highlight moments on champions like Talia, for example, getting these double-digit KDA score lines. That's the thing, though, right? We're waiting for Pretty to hit that point where we believe Pretty is ready for that next breakout moment of getting into the LCS. But when we see 100 Thieves Challengers struggling this much, I mean, it's not looking like the Pretty we were promised.
Hey, I really want to highlight what Myra said, too. It's really hard when you're put through the bounce house that is Silas. And also, I want to quickly say, too, if this is your first time watching Pretty, I promise he's actually good. It's just, circumstances. He's a good player. You'll see. Game 2. Trust me. Because I mean, I would argue, and I think some of us would argue that, like, Pretty should already be considered for LCS mid, I think. If you've seen how he plays last year, like, it is a sight.
You agree with that, Myra? Do you want to put Beat Down in the dirt?
No, it's we're in week one. Like these best of twos, they're less of a series and more of just two best of ones in the reality of the way teams play. So like it's kind of hard to like make real judgments off this. But if he wants to let us all overreact on Twitter in a good way, a Blaze is an LCS mid, and he could beat an LCS mid to argue that he is an LCS mid. So that could be good.
Yeah, it's
Overreacting
like solo
on Twitter is
killing.
really fun. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's like solo killing a Masters player in norms, and then you all chat like, "Hey, so am I Masters now?"
Yeah, no, I know I'm hard stuck silver, but I kill my diamond friends in customs, guys. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, it would be a good if he wants to like, and again, push it. You know, this is a good game to smurf on him. So
Yeah.
Now, one more real big question before we get into this, and I just want to pick out your brain a little bit more, Myra. I want to ask you about the composition that we have of these rosters and how they're built up. How do you feel about the build of Immortals Challengers now that it's something that looks much better on paper compared to last year?
it's hard to say because I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen much of Balulu when he was over in Europe, but I think like overall it seems like a good idea. I think the combination of players they have is good. Their bot lane's good. The jungle's good. I think ADD, give him a bit more time, he'll adjust. So I think overall it's a pretty well-made team, and I'm excited to see how they progress once they have all 5 in.
All right, let's see that progression right now. We are ready for the draft of game number 2. We will bid Myra adieu as set up for our final game of the day. Been a long one, but it's definitely been a fun one. Game number 2.
It has.
Thieves Challengers versus Immortal Challengers.
And there it is. Very convincing game 1 victory for Immortals Challengers and Wixie. I mean, we highlight him and he performs. What more could we possibly hope for? But of course, the whole team did well. And what's the answer from 100 Thieves? Which is what I'm most interested in. How are we going to switch things up? You know, different game plan, level 1, different Herald setup, not first picking Lucian, you know.
I got two plans.
I'm listening.
All right. Plan number 1.
Talk to me.
First pick Draven. Run it. Do the ego challenge.
What?
Go. Let's go. Just run it into Wixie.
There's like a tiny brain cell in me, really deep in there, that thinks Unforgiven actually plays Draven. But like, don't trust that brain.
Okay. Plan number 2. If that's not going to work, grab a piece of paper and write Chad number 1. Do the counter curse. You'll rank them high.
Yeah. No, but yeah, how are they going to show it to him? They're currently in draft. That doesn't work. He needs to see it. It's about his
Discord,
perception. Like, why would you
throw it on Twitter?
All right. I'm interested in what 100 Thieves are looking for here. You see the Vi immediately taken away here, given into the hands of Yukino, and we'll see if Immortals want to go for Wukong, maybe something along those lines. But maybe that was more of what we could expect. You know, little Zeri Lulu action. Yumi's actually up, so that's something.
We could see that combination coming in, or they could go for the jungle right now. See what they want to hop for. I mean, Zeri Yumi is just such a strong combo. Putting any enchanter next to you, Zeri really does a lot of work there. And yeah, it's not going to be the Yumi this time. They are going to pair it up with the Lulu, which I do like Lulu. It provides so much protection. It's a very flexible kit, considering you get a lot of like double dipping out of the skills.
Yeah, and I really like the ult and how a lot of Zeri Yumi players play things out. Because of course, if you're near someone who's casted Wild Growth on, they get knocked up. So a lot of Zeri players will like move in close if they're getting engaged on, or start fights off that way, and then they get the knock up, you get your combo in, burst, and you knock people down. So that'll be more interesting. On the other side, we're seeing more of what we usually see, you know, Lucian, Nami, Zeri, Lulu, and I mean, you know, it was fun seeing Draven while it lasted.
Which way are you on? Let's go, Beat. Let's handshake it. Gotta handshake the matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's good enough. That's good enough.
That's how it goes.
That's basically what's happening with this draft right now. Going more stock standard are going to be both these squads, but this is where it starts to get interesting. Look at the solo lanes.
Yeah.
Hands coming out. First one's going to be Ahri.
That's an interesting one. That was banned by 100 Thieves last time. It makes sense. Ahri Vi, like you have a lot of all-in potential with your Spirit Rush and everything along those lines, and it's very possible we just see another mid taken out of the pool here. I wonder if this is a game where we see something like the Talia. Worth noting, Azir is up. Pretty does play it. Orianna is up. There's a lot of team fight options you could go for in the mid lane. And I'm wondering if we'll see any top bans come through here. I think last game, 100 Thieves might feel okay about leaving the Cassante up.
Is this something that Immortals take an angle to try and take? The focus is still very much in the mid lane, though. They are banning away both the RE.
Is that a top ban though?
Yeah.
I wonder, because Sniper actually plays a good bit of it. Maybe they're thinking of playing. Yeah, he does. It's pretty nasty. Maybe they're thinking of picking Camille. There are 4 ADD on the top side. I know it's a really good matchup for Polly. This is something that might be coming through here, but I mean,
like what Sniper? What does he not play? That's
I have no idea. To be honest. I'm pretty sure you could just kind of play whatever. Like was said before, built different and.
Oh. Okay.
Yo.
That's a tease. That's a tease.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, Sniper. Oh yeah.
Okay,
see, we're just DMing.
Just like ADD. Remember this? Remember yesterday? Look there. But this is still exciting nonetheless. The Hecarim lock-in coming from Chad B.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I honestly think Hecarim is a pretty good champ right now. Is another one of those champs, kind of like Graves, Kindred, where you do a good bit of fighting, but your team fight with that onslaught of shadows and the fear you offer, your ability to displace people with your devastating charge. There's a lot of options here, as long as you're able to kind of have your way in the first few levels and your first few clears. You have a Syndra who can't fight for mid push as well as she used to, but into something like a Victor, it isn't too bad for you, and you still have to probably be careful of the invades. We know Yukino likes to do that with when he is well set up for it. If Unforgiven and Destiny also managed to get pushed early bot side, that
was an insta-lock beat.
Production, is that a misclick? I need to know right now.
I need to know. I'm looking at my
I'm not saying
chat.
Anything until I'm told whether or not this is real.
They're changing the champ positions, beat. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. ADD saw what Moose Hater did to him yesterday, and the man said, maybe I should take this champ in my pocket.
ADD literally said, oh yeah, Sniper, you want to taunt me? Let's see it. And he just locks in the Garen. I can't believe my eyes.
I am in
I actually think it's so good here, too. I actually think it's really good. This
Immortals
is crazy.
Are out of their minds.
They want the 2-0.
They grab the Hecarim for Chad. They're putting the pedal to the metal. And who runs fast as well? Well, Garen, he's just going to scream charge right as he goes after Sniper. I love this pick from Immortals. It's got balls, man.
Oh my god. I can't believe what we're seeing. Garen for the second day in a row, and Moose Hater is nowhere in sight. ADD is fighting his demons in our final game of the day.
He's fighting his demons indeed, beat down. I mean, I really need to reiterate over and over and over. If you missed it, Wildcard versus Immortals was yesterday, and Moose Hater on Wildcard just steamrolled ADD with the Garen pick.
Ruffle, clapped, Goomba stomped. Like, oh.
And now ADD, I don't know, maybe this is his, like, Saiyan arc where he got defeated, comes back even stronger, and the stronger pick is Garen.
Yo, literally, like, what's it called? It's a Zenkai. Like, that's what happens. ADD, he got stomped, and now he's coming back, like you said. And, sorry, I'm shook right now. I'm shook right now.
My entire world has just been destroyed over the course of the start of NACL. Like, we were hyped up on the Hecarim pick, but ADD being on this Garen. You were saying you see it as a pretty good pick for the situation. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that beat?
So why I think it's good is maybe not necessarily lane, but when you think about what was the problem Purdy had last game? Mobile, really easy to get jumped on top of. Well, I mean, Garen going to be really good at taking advantage of that, and as time goes on, he's going to be so tanky and hard to kill, especially with Joey having that wild growth, which I can already see going right on top of ADD, and people like Destiny, Unforgiven, short range. If you can avoid the Aqua Prison, that's the big thing here. You're going to be able to run anybody on this Rift down.
And even though Sniper might get some harassment in, he's always going to be worried about that Garen passive going off, which just heals it right back up. Garen has some of the best regen in the entirety of this game.
Basically, Warmogs is his passive.
Yeah. Chad, it's pre-3, and Chad's already in mid lane.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
The Winions and Gamsu. We'll look at that tweet in a second. We got to look at Chad, because Chad looking for the gank onto Pretty. 3 minutes in, Yukino looks for the counter, gank onto a Blaze Olive, flashing away, help picks onto a Blaze Olive, and Yukino will flash over the wall to safety.
I mean, that's a great read from Joey, just to be in that situation. Had he not done that, I'm certain Yukino flashes and takes down a Blaze Olive.
Was that tweet talking about a backdoor beat?
I didn't see it.
It said 50-minute game, and the Winions and Gamsu won the game.
Wow. That's a VOD we're going to have to watch later on. I thought we would have had the longest game of the night, but 50 minutes definitely beats our first game, so...
All right, getting back in position now. Let's look at Hecarim, because this is a champion that can clear fast, but more importantly, just goes fast, and never know what angle Chad is going to take on this Hecarim.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a read on him and what he's trying to do. I think overall, definitely does want to focus on farming. Like you said, he does clear very quickly and is going to be clearing faster than Yukino. What I'm really looking for is post-6. When you have that ultimate, Onslaught of Shadows, you have so much teamfight potential. And again, you got these immobile players like Pretty on this Victor, like Destiny. And I mean, yeah, Lucian has a dash, but I mean, Onslaught of Shadows is a much longer range than the dash, so I don't know if I count that.
Much longer range, and it makes it so hard to stay safe when Hecarim can just run through your entire team, and that's the ultimate. That's the ability. You dead now.
quite literally. And man, I'm so interested in how ADD is going to be playing this one. Like, he's down a good bit. He's down a bit in CS, but I mean, you know, you're not gated by mana. You're passive. You won't regen health quite liberally. So I think overall, this is kind of what we can expect here in this top matchup. And I'm also kind of looking back towards this mid jungle, because the Blaze Olive Chad ran away with that first game earlier on. Pretty and Yukino, now they have this opportunity to do the same, especially with Yukino taking the Vi this time.
And now pathing over in that direction towards the mid lane. I want to see Yukino's first gank. I would like to see it over towards the mid side, but it's been pretty hard for Pretty so far. At least stay in lane. You can see that hard push coming out from a Blaze Olive. This is going to allow so much priority over to Chad.
Yeah, and at this point, it's actually going to just be an easy Drake coming through here. I mean, you have push bottom at the moment. You have the wave bouncing back mid. There should be a pretty easy opportunity here. And as long as Wixie...
looking for the fight. It's going to be Wixie, but he doesn't realize there's someone waiting in the wings. Yukino will bring in the punch and slap it across the face of Wixie. Joey returns one, however, in the supportal combat, but Unforgiven will take him.
I mean, realistically, that's all you could ever hope for if you're the bot lane. Joey ends up getting the kill, and it's Unforgiven who picks one up on the other side. And this is where these kinds of leads can start to grow here. Wixie, I don't think he had no information, gets hit by the Aqua Prison, and probably believes he has to all in so that this wave can get under the tower. Otherwise, they'd be in a really tough position, but committed too much. And look who was here at the perfect time. It was Yukino.
Yukino, an aggressive ganker, times it well for the bottom lane at the same time that Wixie and Joey go hard. That's going to be some gold. Same time, Yukino, very, very well needed. Get 100 Thieves Challengers rolling. Have a better game than what they had before. I'm still very curious about this top side, because every time I see this Garen, I'm just like, what are we playing? Where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, so far, Sniper, I mean, which is in line with how the series has been going as a whole. It's quite the advantage building up top side. He's basically always got push in.
Man.
ADD has been down CS the whole time. But I mean, ultimately, what I'm looking for is how ADD plays this one later on, because he's going to be such a threat.
ADD is committed to playing pretty much all of the first season of Champions now, because you remember Worlds. ADD picked Teemo versus RNG.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I thought you were gonna say like you remember Season 1 Champions. I'm like, Eric, I haven't played this game that long. What are you talking about? But I do remember the Teemo pick. I do, and that was honestly when I found out ADD was on this roster, and I was like, ADD, it sounds familiar. OS top laner. And then I look at recent games, I see the team he's on, and I'm like, oh my god, it's that guy.
You know, I'm looking at it more and more, and I don't hate the pick at all.
I mean, either.
ADD, at least if you ever watch the LLA playoffs, was really good on like Ornn, Sejuani, and using the weak side well before getting into the team fights. Moose Hater was saying during the interview that he loves playing this because he can just demolish in these team fights and blade away everyone he wants to. It allows ADD to struggle in this lane against Sniper, but still have an impact nonetheless.
An impact is what ADD is looking to have, so Immortals can get their second win. This time it's 100 Thieves. We're going to start things off with Dragon number 1. And Yukino being level 6 means you have to very much respect the dive here. Oh, no flash. Surely he just ults. No?
Yukino. Kind of surprised right there. Yeah, both flashes were down, so I thought that was going to be the commit, but there is reasons to be worried. Didn't have eyes on Chad in the immediate moment. And almost on cue, Chad and a Blaze Olive rotating down to the bottom lane. They want to get Unforgiven. Onslaught of Shadows.
Oh, he's 6.
Ooh, doesn't have the flash. It's all right. They're going right after Destiny, and Chad picking up that kill onto Destiny. Immortals still finding some picks back and still fighting tooth and nail with 100 Thieves Challenger.
Yeah, that is something. At least Pretty is able to answer back in the mid lane, get that wave in, get some plates. We'll be able to get a little bit of... Oh, wait a second.
Wixie, disrespectful.
Wait a minute. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Respect the name of the LEC. Unforgiven gets dived, but takes 2 with him.
Wow. That's brutal. I mean, now, just like that, Unforgiven, yeah, sure, he falls. Yeah, sure, you deny some golden XP, but just picked up 2 kills. Which is a pretty brutal decision-making here and pretty brutal timing for Destiny. As soon as Yukino finishes that recall, you can see it. Onslaught of Shadows, ready to go. Unforgiven forced to cleanse as he very clearly watches his support just fall. And this next part is what I'm really interested to get a second look at.
Let's see, okay, Joey takes the tower aggro first, but could only take 2 shots and couldn't hold it for long enough. Did they think Joey was level 6?
I think part of what happened was that when he went for the polymorph, Unforgiven was able to Q and auto twice. So that did enough damage that only 2 turret shots would have taken him down, and by the time Wixie was there, turret got ramped up to just nightmare levels, at least as far as 80 carries and support go.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. I like what they were going for, but it's also unlucky because now Unforgiven is 3-1.
Yeah, Unforgiven. That what was it again? It was he was LEC Summer 2022 first team All Pro, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, being under that pressure, handled it like a professional, to say the least.
Yeah, looked really good. Managed to get a lot of gold off of that one. We'll see. Yep. So it's a 600 gold lead in favor of Unforgiven. And now Wixie isn't playing something like the Draven, is the Zeri. So Unforgiven very much feeling better about his place in this particular matchup. And there's more opportunities for 100 Thieves to be able to actually get leads in this game. Because now one thing, they have the Vi, which is really great for all-ins, and you have less all-in to worry about on the other side.
I think we heard at the start of the day that this was an Smithy draft coming out from Immortals, that he's the one doing the drafting. I'll double-check that for later, but what came to mind to bring Garen onto the Rift here and actually put ADD in a situation where he's standing toe-and-toe with Sniper, but look at this, Yukino pretty... gonna run away from the rest of Immortals trying to find and engage. Immortals still playing fast and aggressive and trying to pick off 100.
Yeah, that is a good move from Pretty and the rest to be able to just walk away from that one. You don't want that fight in any capacity, especially because you picked up that first Drake. You're okay to let go of control over this bottom side of the map. Okay, that's dangerous. A little dangerous.
I did get the confirmation, by the way. Xmithy did do this draft.
Okay, yeah, because it was they have their main coaching staff working with the challenger team as well. I believe yesterday was Deos and today is Xmithy, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Xmithy. I don't put Xmithy and Garen. Those are not
that's gotta
be
be
in the same sentence.
That's gotta be. I hope we get confirmation later. That's gotta be an ADD pick. I wanna believe he was like, give me the Garen now. You know?
He's been this closeted Garen player. Never showed it up until he saw Moose Hater and it changed his world.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, really? People can just do that and it's okay? And he just decided, hey, look at that. He's
like Garen against bots all the time. What do you mean?
Damn, I mean, we'll see. All things considered, he's down 10 CS. I think it's cool. And so far, besides the few engagements we've seen on that bottom side of the map, things have been rather slow. Now we're going to see Yukino. I think Pretty is going to have a hard time getting close enough for those plates. But he is going to be able to get it. And I think that's important because Pretty, I think it's having a very different game compared to what he did in game 1. And like it's worth noting, you don't have the bounce house that is Vi and Silas, the other team, to be worrying about. And you just have a much better environment for you to be able to farm and get to that point where you're very strong. The thing that's a little unlucky is now with new Syndra, you get outscaled. So losing out trades like this is a little unfortunate.
All right, update for you, Beat. I did look up the stats. Very first time ADD's been played Garen ever.
What? Like ever?
Okay, maybe not
like
ever.
Pro play.
Maybe not pro play, competitive play.
Yeah. That's. I don't even know. If IMT win, we're gonna ask about that. That's gonna be like the first question.
Yeah, I have to pull ADD immediately for an interview.
ADD, I don't even care who. Someone who can answer the question. Like, cause that's. I'm gonna start pinging players if 100 Thieves win. Like, I need to know.
All right. Still focusing on right now. I mean, we're having a much slower game than we had last time. 14 minutes in, only 7 kills have gone both ways. Sniper not able to have that big impact. And, might try to make one right now, but unfortunately it was a bait and switch. ADD pulls the trap and Chad pops out.
Wow, that's brutal.
That bubble!
Goodness. I need a
Destiny
second.
on the money. That was so quick.
Wait a minute. No way.
It's all over the map right now. Fights breaking out as Chad shows up in the top lane and helps ADD get his second kill of the game beat down.
And there it is, right as I was talking about Pretty having a much better game, does end up falling topside. It's not so bad. He's still in a pretty decent spot. And Chad showing up topside after getting the kill onto Joey means that it's very easy to pick up this bottom turret. Also,
Good flash from Blazed Olive trying to chase down Yukino. Scatter
dead.
the weak. Unleash Power puts so many orbs on the ground. Yukino can't dodge them all. Blazed Olive getting the kill against Yukino in the mid lane.
really nicely done. And it's just continuing this exciting game we have here, Eric. There's so much back and forth going on here, and it is pretty good. I mean, like, if we look at the big win cons here for 100 Thieves, you got Victor in a pretty decent spot farm-wise and everything like that. Oh, wow. Look at that respect. And then you have Unforgiven, who's 4-1. 100 Thieves, I think, are pretty happy with how things are going. If you look on Immortals side as well, your Garen, which I can't believe I'm saying is in this game, it's 2-0. Your Hecarim's in a good spot. Myth has been picked up. These team fights, the important thing is honestly going to be execution. Oh, speaking of execution.
Chad is an absolute menace.
He is!
Running around from solo lane to solo lane, just waiting for someone to get picked off. But Blaze Olive, I'm sorry, this was not your trap, or is it? Engaging on a Pretty, going after Pretty. Gravitational Field gets the stun onto Blaze Olive. But there is Unforgiven showing up to the fight, and 100 Thieves will demolish both Chad and a Blaze Olive.
And that's what they needed there, Eric. Really nice read to be able to get down onto that side of the map there from Unforgiven Destiny, and it's just continuing. Fort win cons they need to be going for here. And speaking of Joey, moving his way topside.
ADD, you doing? What are you doing? That's a 16-year-old prospect right there. Be nice.
It's because as long as he had his support there, he's feeling confident. I think that's what it was. He almost got the turret down, but now he's like, you know what? My entire team is off the map. Why don't I just relax and back? And I say that, but look at where he is. He's still there.
I still do favor Immortals mostly in this game at the moment, just because there's so much gold put onto Unforgiven. But the big thing about Immortals comp is it's really good at diving onto that backline and finding Unforgiven. Yep. As long as Unforgiven has that flash up, Gale Force available, there's a lot of tools for him, but if he ever gets caught out once by that onslaught of shadows, it's going to be a quick end.
Yeah, the nice thing too is you also have the tidal wave from Destiny to be able to offer some sort of heal, ability to create space and things like that. The Gale Force. So I agree. It's definitely built to get on top of Unforgiven and take him out of the picture. Luckily, the Thieves, they have tools to be able to kind of mitigate that, and they also have a lot of tools to be able to start fights on their side as well. But it's a little risky trying to force fights into something like Hecarim Syndra. Okay, ADD, I'm pretty sure can kill him.
Oh, this takes me back to the old memes of there's a Garen in every bush. Well, Anami in the river one at the moment. Joey stepping away. The helps of that whimsy. Hunter Thieves. They control the river, but Blaze Olive looks to change that situation. Stun only onto Yukino, though.
Yeah, that Scout of the Week is going to be a very big tool in these fights. So a lot of pressure on a Blaze Olive to be able to set up some of these engagements and also help the team disengage if Hunter Thieves start looking for something. And oh boy. So now we're at the spot where Dragon's coming up very soon. This is going to be that sole point. But I like this. You're kind of waiting for the bush play. Oh, you're right. ADD is revealed.
This is a Trinity Force, by the way.
I don't like that. Don't say that.
This is a Trinity Force. Garen. ADD pulled in against Yukino. Now fighting away. Will spin to win. And wail away. Find his escape. Immortals stacked together. There it comes. Scout of the Week. Followed
really
by
nice.
Chad. So quick. They take down Unforgiven. Cease and desist. Able to return one as Chad falls. Wixie over the wall. Pops one.
He's still
but
here.
Look at this. 100 Thieves are not done. They're ready to bring a fight right back. 1 for 2 thus far. 3 members for Immortals. Man advantage to 100 Thieves. They pressure. And just like that, the engage that looked like it was going Immortals' way gets thwarted.
Wow. I mean, this is the thing. 100 Thieves, multi-threat comp. You're not just worried about Lucian. You're also worried about the Victor. Pretty had a much easier time scaling up into where Victor is getting really strong. And look at this one here. They already have eyes on ADD. Sniper is in that perfect position to mitigate. And look at that. They 2v1 him and force ADD out of the brush. And yes, a Blaze Olive gets the stun that you're looking for. But again, look at Pretty. Watch Pretty this entire time. This is a Victor who I think is at 2 items or really close to it. And watch his health bar. That tells you everything you need to know. Still full health. Going with the blue buff. Still full health. Still full health. Oh, look at the Chaos Storm going on here. You get the picture.
Yeah, Pretty was unchecked for the longest time. I mean, the game plan for Immortals, wipe out Unforgiven as fast as you can, but that's one of the downsides we didn't really talk too much about. It's that onslaught of shadows. Sometimes you can go too deep. There was more members of 100 Thieves around Chad than Immortals.
Right, and now, EDD, seeing the damage that Trinity Force can do. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of thinking, especially because you lack a dedicated tank this game, I was expecting him to go the Stridebreaker route like we saw yesterday. You build Stridebreaker, yeah, from Moose Hater. Like, you build Stridebreaker, you build Dead Man's Plate, you're fast, you're tanky, and you still do all those Garen things. So this time around, that's why you see ADD. It's even a little squishier than you might expect the Garen to be, even at 2 items.
Trinity Force. What's that second? Oh my.
It's, oh, come on. Not Lord Dom.
This really is the murder Garen.
Last Whisper, that's a component. Oh, this is gonna bother the hell out of me. Well, anyways, 100 Thieves.
No, I'm letting it. No, you gotta remember this beat.
I will. It'll come back. Damn.
Damn indeed.
I never build this item, man. I don't. Oh god. I could tell you all the components too. I hate it here.
Okay, Beat. It's okay. You're only a color caster.
Executioners into... What about you? You played this game for 10 years. Why don't you tell me what it is? That's what I thought.
Well played by play.
You can only lean on that excuse for so long.
I'll lean on it forever, Beat. As long as I can. As IMT will take another turret over in the bottom lane right now.
Yes, they will. And overall, much better looking, much better showing, excuse me, from 100 Thieves. They're up 4K in control of this game here. And we basically had an idea. I believe that we just saw, especially mid and bot. And I mean, Blaze Olive can look for these stuns, but Yukino with that Radiant Virtue, not that easy to take down.
I'm watching the production chat on the side, Beat, and
They're not going to tell us.
they're making... No, I know what it is. I do.
Yep.
I do. I'm waiting for you. Do you give up? Do you surrender first and I'll say it?
Yes.
Mortal reminder.
Damn it. That's right. You know, Adam sucks anyway.
It's alright, Beat. It's your first day. We'll get used to it. It's NACL. Now, the situation coming out for 100 Thieves, though, they want to start positioning around this Baron. They're making their authority felt on the Rift as they get vision control over here and really pivot around Sniper, who's putting so much pressure onto this bot lane tower, but Wixie really looking for a team fight right now.
Right, and at this point, you're kind of hoping that you can push the advantage you have in terms of numbers. All of Immortals are here, but you can see the side lanes being pressured by Pretty and Sniper in particular. And the fact that they all in, it just gives Sniper that extra time to be able to shove in such a huge wave. So many minions, so many creeps, and now ADD is forced to answer. And yeah, I mean, he's walking. He's just trying to be annoying to Sniper and make sure, no, you don't get to back until you walk all the way over there. But so far, Immortals comp, I mean, it's Deathball, Eric. So they're looking for whatever opportunity they have to just all in as 5 to see what they can get done. Oh.
ADD's perfectly fine. He's having a nature walk right now. Walked all the way down the bottom lane, now coming back up the bottom lane. Just a good time for Garen.
Right, but I mean, overall, this Garen not having the best of times, given the position that his team is in, and perfect vision toggle, you can see. Map is basically completely dark, besides that Scryer's Orb we saw come through.
Are those attack speed boots too?
I mean, that you always do that.
Yeah, we always do that in our competitive Garens that we see every day in NACL. Beat. Thank you.
I mean, we saw it every day this weekend so far, and that's what they built.
A sample size of 2. Team fight coming out. Chad looking to lead it with the onslaught of shadows. Ooh, holding on to that trigger, though, is going to be Chad. 100 Thieves, they're backing out, but they will have position on the river.
See the health Unforgiven has both sums, but he is a little close. And I like this. They spot out Sniper, who's looking for that angle. We've seen it all day long. Cassante getting on top of your AD carry. There's really nothing you can do about it.
ADD's a menace.
Is. I mean, you can just see it. There's just so much posturing here, and at this point, it's looking like we might see a 50-50 or the Drake.
Even Sniper's putting up the angry bee over the wall. Here comes Wixie. Engage on Unforgiven.
He's out of there.
Oh, Unforgiven gets away. And just like that, it flips the 100 Thieves Challenger. Take 3. They're going to take the whole damn team. Getting an ace on a Blaze Olive. Unforgiven with the fancy feet slides out, and the rest of the Thieves deal damage.
That is unreal. The escape artist from Europe manages to live long enough for his team to finish the job. And that's Dragon. Probably not a Baron for what you've lost, but it's just 100 Thieves continuing to snowball here. And I don't care about anything else. Watch this Lucian. Watch it right here. Ult comes through, knocked up everything, and he just uses everything he has to get away from there. Shout out Blasco and the MVP.
While polymorphed, by the way.
Yeah, last second, he just got it off.
Last second. Oh, that's the second time that's happened. Unforgiven has really quick fingers, man. It happened during the turret dive in the polymorph.
That's right. That's a good point. I mean, so far, hands-wise, Unforgiven, he's doing pretty good, to be honest. I mean, LEC Summer 2022 All-Pro ain't no joke. And yeah, we've said that like 3 times already, but we're going to keep saying it because he keeps showing it to us. And at this point, Immortals are now the ones who are receiving the pretty prizes. And the game is not really in a great position for them here. You can see Blaze Olive is on that bottom side because they need to push out this bottom wave, be able to set up vision. But something we didn't even get to talk about because of that fight, Eric. Femtech Soul is online for 100 Thieves. And yeah, not the strongest of souls, but it's stats, and it is basically bonuses that you didn't have before. Just ultimate.
Can we cue the Benny Hill theme at this point? ADD.
Nah, they got him.
Wait, yeah, they do corner him. But, oh, Chad over the wall. Coming in, looking for more touches. The pass plan in the wrong direction. Your jungler's dead and Baron's up.
I mean, this is a big deal. Top and jungle out of the picture. You know this is just immediately yours. But this game is just getting worse and worse for Immortal. Are they going to let this Baron go? You have Syndra over the wall. Going to be able to get some burst from range. I think that's what a Blaze Olive is looking for.
Oh, Blaze Olive caught by the bubble and Pretty looking to follow up and follow through on this rampage. Baron going over to 100 Thieves Challenger. They only need 2 to take it. Unforgiven. Watch yourself over there. But big fights, big picks, and right now it feels like Immortals are slipping.
At this point, the Baron buff feels like it might just be the nail in the coffin here. These next few minutes, so important. Already the map in a good state for 100 Thieves, and it gets even better with the Baron buff they've gotten for themselves. They can threaten the base, and if the game doesn't end in 3 minutes, well, they'll be in a perfect position, more than likely, to secure the best buff this game has. We got Elder Dragon in 3 minutes' time.
3 minutes, 30 seconds before that's up, but Baron already established, so the first thing to work with will be that Baron, and they'll back off to try and get that finishing touch unless they find the team fight right here, right now. They're setting up the lanes for it, that is for sure. Cassante down in the bottom lane, Sniper trying to lead a wave in, and now rotate back to the team before Immortals do find that engage. And smart of 100 Thieves right here. They're playing back a little bit more. They're not playing aggressive because they're down a man and they know how quickly Chad can engage on Unforgiven.
Right, this is a big thing. And speaking of quickly,
going for it right now, Blast Pant. Oh, right in the back line. They're going for Pretty this time. Pretty staying alive for a while, but Wixie will finally take him down. The calling going in. It's getting Immortals lower and lower and lower. And it's dropping body after body. Joey, the only one to survive, but 100 Thieves want to change that deal. They'll run him all the way to the respawn. Ace for 100 Thieves Challenger.
And not only that, that might be the very end here. We're 30 plus seconds on spawn timers, and at the very least, with this Baron buff, the base is easy pickings for 100 Thieves. And with Pretty being the only casualty of this war, it's looking great for game 2 100 Thieves, as that's going to be 2 inhibitors going down, and it's going to be a perfect setup for the Elder Dragon.
Look at that gold balloon going to the 12K territory right now. Unforgiven debut in the NA Challenger League. Wow, NACL. I had to think about it again. I almost wanted to say Academy for a second, but I'm correcting myself. But this debut, nonetheless, for Unforgiven. My word, we're in for a great time, and we're the rest of the marksmen's. They gotta pay close attention to what he brings.
Yeah, game 1 never happened, guys. Don't worry about that. This is the game that matters if you're an Unforgiven fan.
Game number 1, they first pick Lucian. Cut him a break on that.
I mean, in one way I won't because that was not good. But I understand what you're trying to say here. I accept. So, game 2, it is looking good for 100 Thieves overall. And it's looking like they are well on their way to finishing the day at 2-2 in their record. They just need to finish strong. And I mean, this mid inhibitor, exposed but not taken. Something that 100 Thieves want. That
ADD setting up in the side, but I think at this point we're kind of over our Garen moment. ADD, can you get me re-infatuated? Spotted out by the scrying orb. Unforgiven. Paying close attention to where this Garen is on the map. Sniper will lead a wave over to the bot lane. Exposed inhibitor in the mid lane. One soon to be exposed in the bottom lane and getting clinical right now, but Pretty isolated.
Whoa!
We'll use the hourglass. Chad onto the back line. Oh, so low he is, but still the pickup going to be found by ADD as the judgment is felt. Sniper with the chase. 1-for-1 thus far. Pretty did go down, but this is going to be double supers in every lane if they're allowed to grab this inhibitor. So they just want the game running right through Immortals. 100 Thieves Challengers. They're looking to end the first week on a 2-2 scoreline.
And it's looking like they get just that, Eric. A shaky game one, but they pull it together in the end, and their full team has joined them. So it's only up from here. Still, Immortals getting their first win on the day is something to be happy about, but the 2-0 is denied them.
A great performance. The debut of this roster as a complete whole. Some draft memes in game number 1, but they shaped themselves back up. 100 Thieves Challengers here to play.
Right, and I mean, this is why. This is the team that a lot of us are hyping up. Myra said it. Every tier list, the lowest I think they have been put is 3rd, and it is for a reason. So much skill and talent all across the board here, and they just got together. There are some teams we talk about who will develop later on into the split. 100 Thieves is one of them. Peaks there. The peaks are so exciting.
The peaks are some of the best things that we can expect, because when we have young talent, especially talent as young that is on 100 Thieves Challengers with both Yukino and Sniper being 16 years old, the question we're asking is, where is their ceiling? We want to see how far these prospects can grow, and to not let that game number 1 phase them, to come back so strong and be focused in the picks they were going for. It is showing that growth rather early for these two.
And who better to grow talent like this than 100 Thieves? I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, this is a little before my time, but they were the first to all in the NA talent pipeline with 100 Thieves next.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who have found so many talented players, Chad being one of them, of course, on the side of Immortals, and Sniper being the latest of their insane finds for this organization.
And that's one of the big questions we had about 100 Thieves coming into this split, because for 2 years, it's been the Papa Smithy show running a lot of that pipeline of development of the 100 Thieves. And now they have new management, but the infrastructure is still going. The rookie development is still going. 100 Thieves, they're very serious about it.
They are, and it's good to see that hasn't changed. And I mean, to Papa Smithy's credit, he's done a lot of good work, but these kinds of decisions aren't just a single person. And I think how well things have been going for 100 Thieves. Yeah, they don't have an affiliate team anymore, but I mean, I feel like it's definitely served its purpose. How many players they found, how many prospects that they have to work with.
All right, Beat, I think you got something you need to get to. If I'm looking correctly, yes, you do. There's an interview with our winners that's listed right here. So, Beat down, we're going to throw it over a short break. When we return, take us to that interview with one of 100 Thieves Challengers. We'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? I'm back here with Pretty mid laner for 100 Thieves Challengers, who just came off a victory in the series at 1-1. Pretty, things were, I mean, we want to celebrate your win. Congrats, first of all, but talk to me a little bit about the game 1. I'm curious about, what were your thoughts on that overall, and what do you think the issue is?
Well, I'd say, for people who don't know, actually, that was the first game we ever played with our bot lane. Unforgiven literally arrived yesterday, and Destiny was here 2 days ago.
Oh, that's right.
So I think the problem with it is we gave ourselves a draft that was a little bit too hard to execute, considering we never played with each other. Required some synergy, required some specific things to be done, especially to get vision control. We had a lot of trouble that game. We barely had any vision the whole game, and kind of had to play from behind and scale. So we had to give the enemies a lot of free objectives, and kind of make sure we fight on our timers whenever we get our items. But obviously, again, considering that it was our first game together, it was a little bit too hard to have the synergy needed for the kind of comp like that. So we ended up just falling behind, and it was very hard to play after that. So yeah, that's what we look to change in the second game, and I think that's why it went much better.
Right. And that makes me wonder too, since your bot lane just came, you have a top side that's very young. What's the shot calling dynamics on the team? Who's the most vocal? Who do you find leads more often than not?
Well, like I said, we didn't even scrim with each other. So, and even without our bot lane, we scrimmed I think 3 days or 4 days, if I'm not mistaken. So we haven't played a lot with each other. So I cannot really tell you like, I mean, we haven't like established a system yet, all of those things. But I mean, for now, I try to make the plans and make them as simple as possible. So like we don't get confused. But yeah, the more we play together, then we're gonna figure it out. But I can't tell you now, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough. So you guys are still working things out. So, I mean, okay, so then I won't ask about necessarily your team experiences since things are very new with the players you're playing with. But what I do want to know is, so far, I know you're like a new addition, but what's it been like working with 100 Thieves versus Immortals, who you spent, I think, your last 2 years in North America?
I mean, it's been great. I cannot really like compare them. It's just different, Like I'm very grateful for Immortals for giving me the chance to play in NA and prove myself in academy and giving me the chance to play in LCS as well. It was like the first step for me, and the 100 Thieves is like the second step for me. I mean, just I have only good things to say about like 100 Thieves overall. Like I'm here for 2 weeks and it's been great so far.
Glad to hear it. So one thing I want to ask, since you're talking about wanting to improve, get into LCS, is there anything specific that you want or feel you need to improve on? Do you have any specific goals for this split in 2023 as a whole?
Just improving my play in general, consistency, being able to play like every champion in the meta, playing them very well, be exceptional with them, draw bans, all of that stuff that I think make a player stand out. But I mean, mostly it will be from like laning phase, team fighting, but every aspect of the game, right? So yeah, I would say that if I can improve that, then I can say that I'm very confident that I'll be able to be in LCS next split.
Nice, glad to hear it. I think the last thing I want to know before I let you go is, do you have any shoutouts, Pretty, that you want to give people watching, friends, family, whatever the case may be?
Yeah, shout out to my family who is watching right now, very late over there in Greece, and everyone from 100 Thieves, like my teammates, they played great today. It was a rough week for us. Early screamed, we came up with a 2-2 week, which honestly is very good in my book. And yeah, we'll keep working hard and we'll have better results in the future for sure.
That's what I like to hear. A lot of people are looking forward to how you and the rest of your team is going to play this split. So thank you very much, Pretty. That's Pretty, mid laner for 100 Thieves Challengers. You spend some time to chat with us right now. So we're going to go take a quick break, and then I will be back with Deserex and Myra to close things out.
Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS North American Challengers League, and we are finally done. A pretty nice interview coming out from Pretty. How'd you feel about that, Myra?
Oh, it was good. I mean, like, I honestly had no idea how little amount of scrims they've had yet. I mean, obviously visa issues make it hard. I personally was pretty curious about how like the team dynamics work, because I've watched Yukino and Champs Queue, and that guy talks a lot in his games, so I was curious how that goes. But I mean, when you've only had like a day or two of each other, it's hard to know. But like, for only having a couple days, they're doing pretty good, and game 2 was definitely a lot better than game 1 overall, so cool to see.
A lot better indeed. Let's pull up the standings so we can take one more look at that and close out for the rest of the day. It's going to be CLG Challengers, who are currently undefeated. Myra, 4-0.
Yeah, no, they are very good at the video game. It was unfortunate that we got queued into them day 1, but I'm glad we got that out of the way. I think they were pretty underrated off of last split, and we had Copy, who's absolutely cracked, so I think they're going to be one of the top teams this split, so it's super cool to see.
Anything stick out to you here, Beat?
I agree with Myra. I also agree that CLG Challengers is going to be really good. I mean, TL, C9 being up there makes a good amount of sense, although Cloud9, Wildcard are going to be playing tomorrow. And I mean, with how many teams, I think overall, with how many teams had issues with visas and fielding their full rosters beyond like CLG being at the top, which is cool, and Cincinnati Fear, which is also cool. I don't have like, it's not as telling to me yet. We need teams to have more time with each other.
It's still mind-blowing to see 2 provisional teams over on the left-hand side of these.
That is baller. I do like that.
All right,
3.
absolutely love it. 3, thank you.
AoE's over there.
My bad. Completely missed them. That's on me. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And I think it's time for all of us to rest up a little bit. For the broadcast desk, my name has been Desrooks. This has been Beatdown. And of course, Myra, thank you so much for joining us on the day.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super cool experience. You know, it's always fun to talk about the team, share some insight. Got to see some banger games. Hopefully our games tomorrow go a little better. We're queuing up into FlyFam, I believe. We're both 0-4, so should be a heater. You know, come on out and watch that one. But I'm excited, so it was fun. I appreciate it.
Any more plugs before we sign off for the day?
Go follow my players on Twitter, honestly. Check out these sick CLG jerseys on our store. You know, my players, they work their butts off every day in our scrims. We've had kind of a growing schedule, especially with the changes, so please go support them. They deserve it, so.
All right, well, the first weekend of North American Challengers League is done, but that doesn't mean the league is done. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll have one more set of games on both streams. But we want to thank you all for joining us. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a great time here in NA Challengers League. We have Garen, after all. Be sure to tune in next time, and we'll see you then.